Have you been watching a crap ton of videos on bags? Yep, I did the same thing. Finally bought this one, which is the WANDRD PRVKE 21 liter. I really struggled between the 21 and the 31 and which one to go with. And I'm hoping this might be helpful for you as far as being able to see what you can get in there. I utilize an aps-c Fujifilm X-T3 and X-T4 mirrorless camera system, and then I also have the Mavic 2 Pro. And I wasn't quite sure when I got this if I'd be able to get the Mavic 2 Pro in here with my camera gear, so I'm going to go through this, show it to you. You can get it in if you kind of maneuver things. You can as well get it in here if you don't even maneuver some things around, but it does become, I don't know, kind of bulky and not really the ideal situation. So let me take you through the bag. On the front here, you've got this big pocket area. I have found this actually to be more useful than I had thought it would be. I have moved some stuff out of it though, because I find the bummer is that there's no like shelving system in here to keep things from just falling down. So I keep a small tripod in here for using like my OSMO Pocket, and then I also keep some ND filter holders in here. I find this is nice because it keeps them accessible. And I've got my beanie in here for when it gets cold, and then that's it. But there's another component that you can move into here when you're putting the Mavic 2 Pro in that I'll show you how that works. I should mention, one of the biggest reasons I purchased this particular bag is because of its water resistance. And you really do notice when you purchase this bag what a nice job they've done to try and make it water resistant. Like the zippers, for example, go into these nice sleeves to try and keep any kind of water out. It looks real quality. Now on this side here is where I keep my tripod. I do put one of the legs into the water bottle holder. This does unzip and expand. I kind of wish that was a magnet system. That would be really nice. But, you know, this works perfectly fine. On the other side here, they do have, you know, side access for getting your camera. I haven't really used this. I've never had a bag until this one that had that feature. And now I've realized that it's not something I'll ever use. Well, at least in this case, because it unfortunately, your camera kind of catches, and it's kind of awkward to get in and out. So I just haven't found it to be the most useful thing. I actually would prefer if this was a water bottle holder as well, or water bottle pocket. It would just be nice to have the extra pocket, I think, as opposed to this. Now, inside of here, there is some pockets for like batteries and a little bit of extra storage. I haven't really found myself utilizing that. Zip that back up. Also on the side here is another little pocket, and in this one I keep a pair of gloves for when it gets cold, and then I've got a couple of the straps that came with the bag for holding in like lenses and that kind of thing. And let's see what else I've got in here. Oh, there's a little key holder thing in here, and I keep my blower in here, and then my little kind of multi-tool. So not a huge pocket right there, but it is kind of convenient to hold a few items, but it's nothing too big. Just keep that in mind. On the back here is a hidden compartment, and you can put like your passport and tickets and that kind of stuff, or money in here, or credit cards. I really like this pocket. I think this is really cool for keeping, you know, really important stuff hidden. I haven't gotten to use it yet. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to travel with this yet, but I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to be able to use that. Now on here, I do have my Peak Design clip, which I love this clip. It was a bit difficult to get on. I had to kind of squeeze the material together here to actually get this on here, but it does work. They do have a chest strap that goes in here. I took it off because I don't really ever utilize the chest strap, but they do have one that slides up and down that you can remove. And lots of connection points that you can utilize. Up at the top here, there's another pocket, and this is where I keep my OSMO Pocket. This is nicely lined. I think it's meant for other things like glasses and stuff like that, but I found it to work pretty well for keeping my Osmo in there. Now they just came out with version 2, and I do believe that they've changed that a bit as far as how it goes into the bag, and I'll show you that right now. Let's see here. When you open this up, you can see this is the OSMO Pocket here, and it really takes up a big portion of this pocket. And I think they've stitched it differently to where it doesn't quite intrude as much in on this space. So just keep that in mind that the V2 is a little bit different. Also on the V2, this section here now is pockets, which I really would have loved to have. Right now, this is meant for a laptop and also a tablet, but I would have definitely preferred pockets and then just one section for a computer or a tablet. All right, let me take you through here on a little tour. Now in this section here, I've got basically just a see-through bag that's kind of a catch-all. It's got, you know, kind of chargers, cords, you name it, it's in here. So it's basically a catch-all for everything. So I keep that there. I used to also keep my batteries up here, but now I keep it in this section where you would put a tablet. So it kind of creates a little bit more space up here, which I've found to be nice. And so all my batteries go in that section, and then also I have you know, a little arm to help attach to various things, and that as well just lives in the section for where you put a tablet. Now with the camera cube, I have a 16 to 55 lens, which is one of the bigger ones by Fuji, and then also the 55 to 200 on the X-T3 currently. My X-T3 does have a L bracket on it, so it's a lot more bulky than it would normally be. I've got a dead cat in here, and then a 35mm as well. One thing that was kind of surprisingly nice to find is that when I've had to have two cameras with me for a shoot, I am able to put the X-T4 here at the top section where the 55 is right now, and then put another lens right here, and then of course have the camera body with another lens right here. So I found it pretty easy to take two camera bodies and two lenses with me to any shoot. But again, keep in mind I am using an aps-c sized mirrorless camera, and the 21 liter I think just works really, really well for that. One thing I do really appreciate about this bag that they did is this strap here. I only keep one on here. There is an option to put two, but I like being able to reach in a little bit easier and not in between straps. So I just keep the one on, and it works great. I think I've given you pretty much an overall tour. Let me go into this top portion here. This top portion here is one of the big reasons I purchased this bag. It's just so nice that in a pinch, you've got this extra space. I've used it for like a jacket already. I've tried to consider using it for the Mavic 2 Pro, and I'm going to show you that. But again, it does kind of make this bulkier. Now, one trick I recently found is that if I take out my little pouch here, and let me zip this back up. If I move this little pouch to the front section here, so that goes in there now, and I'll show you how the Mavic 2 Pro fits now. By the way, this basically is just Velcroed, and this hook, you know, cinches it down. One bummer is that you've really overfilled this. You're gonna lose the water resistance factor. There is another pouch underneath here that does hold a rain cover, so you could put that on. But I like the fact that this is pretty water resistant, and that you're more than likely not going to have to utilize a rain cover. But just FYI on that top part. This is the Mavic 2 Pro bag, and as you can see here, I've got, you know, the Mavic in here, the controller, two batteries will fit in here. You can also put a, you know, the charger unit on the side here, but I will show you how this kind of fits in here. It does take a bit of shoving, unfortunately. Let's see here. Now, since I removed that other pack, it does create a bit more room. Actually, I'm going to flip this around. I think I kind of went the wrong way. I haven't done this too many times. And you got to kind of just feed this into that little pouch area so that you can take advantage of it. And try going in sideways. So I'm realizing even though I've put that little catch-all pouch in the front here, it's still kind of creating a bit of a space issue. So I'm just pushing it down a little bit and then see if I can get this more in that pocket. But as you can tell, this is kind of tedious. I've decided that I'm not really going to utilize this bag for carrying the Mavic as well as my camera. Alright, so the Mavic's in there. You can see, you know, it really does extend the profile of the bag and just makes it overall a lot bulkier. I mean, ultimately, it's possible to do. You can get all of this stuff into this bag, but I'm just not a fan of how bulky it makes it. I really do think I would prefer to just use this top section for, you know, like a jacket if I need one, or maybe there's another lens that wasn't fitting in the bottom portion and I can just throw it up top. But that's basically what you can get in this bag. I will say, as far as the looks of the bag, I love the looks of this bag. It's one of my favorite bags I've ever owned. There are a lot of little extra tabs on the front here that you can use for putting your tripod on the front. You can put it on the bottom. I mean, there's a lot of diversity and flexibility in this bag, which is one of the things I really appreciate about it. If I was going to go with a different bag, I do kind of like that Peter McKinnon everyday bag that he just came out with. That bag looks pretty cool. I like the design features of it. It seems like it might be a good alternative to this. But otherwise, so far, I really dig this bag, and I haven't tried the Peter McKinnon one, so I can't tell you what the difference is like there. But I hope this helps you out, and if you got any questions, as always, please leave them below. I now have a Patreon, by the way, that I'm going to link below, and then also I'm selling my photography work as well, which I'll link below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I will see you in the next one. If you get the bag, I hope you love it. All right, bye.